all on my lane, you all on my lane. You ain't overlooked, so get out the way. I gave you the book, I gave you the game. The boy gotta cook, the boy got a flame, Serving in the kitchen like you Nino. Plenty pitching, whipping different flavors like a bistro. Kick it, dip it, flip it, keep it hunting like a C note. Switching, keep it pimping every single place that he go. I got it. Lathan got the flame, Lathan got the flame. Boy, you know the name, get up out the way. Lathan got the flame, Lathan got the flame. Stay up out the kitchen if you ain't the one that's whipping, huh? Hey, yo, Lathan, man, cook them boys up something real quick, man.
What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm showing you my Nibble in the night dish. That's why this video is out on Sunday instead of Thursday. So this is the recipe for my braised beef in tart pans on top of buttermilk mashed potatoes, topped with crunchy cornbread streusel. So the first step you want to do is get your chuck roast or whatever kind of beef you're going to use, but you need to use beef. And you're going to get that thing completely dry, and then we're going to set it aside and bring it up to room temperature. While that's coming up to room temperature, we're going to go ahead and dice our onions up. And you can do these really rustic and big because this thing is finna braise for a couple of hours. So you need some bigger pieces of veggies to hold up with the braising process. Then we're going to go ahead and smash our garlic. And that's elephant garlic. You see how I have to smash that twice to get that thing open? But smash that garlic. And then once we get that aside, we're going to go ahead and season our beef. Now, I know you're thinking this could be cross-contamination, but it's not, because we're going to actually throw these onions and garlic in the roast while it's cooking, so it's not cross-contamination, just throwing it out there. But we're going to season this liberally with salt and pepper. You can add other spices and stuff, but it's no need for that because we're going to add some fresh herbs into this roast, and it's going to take on them flavors as well. You don't want too much going on. This is a simple recipe, and I want you guys to follow it to the T, and it'll create the most wonderful roast. So once you get that thing seasoned on both sides with salt and pepper, we're gonna go ahead and begin to sear it. All right, so salt and pepper on both sides, and I'm using restaurant style pepper, which is very coarse, and I'm using sea salt. Usually I use kosher salt, but I didn't have any, so I'm using the sea salt and coarse black pepper. All right, and then once you get it seasoned on both sides, you're going to go ahead and get the excess seasoning off the board, and that's how you're going to season the sides of the roast. And then you're going directly into our Dutch oven. Go in with some grapeseed oil or some canola oil, something with a high smoke point, because if you don't, your kitchen is going to get extra smoky. But going with the oil with a high smoke point, and then we're going to go on and sear our roast. And this thing is going to sear. I seared it for about 3 minutes on each side just to get a good golden exterior on the outside to lock in those juices. And you see how good that sear looks, and you got that sear because you partially dried the meat off to begin with. So make sure you dry the meat off, because you don't want it to steam and look beige. You want to get good caramelization on it, because caramelization equals flavor. So once you get that roast all seared off, go ahead and take it out, and then we're going to pop our onions and garlic in. And I'm popping the garlic. Usually you won't pop the garlic in so early, but this elephant garlic is very big, and you're going to pop it in because we're not getting much color on this. We're just getting it translucent. So this is like maybe a minute. This step maybe take a minute. So go ahead and get that onion and garlic in there, and go ahead and get it sweated out a little bit. And then once it becomes translucent, and do not burn it, we're going to go ahead and add our red wine to this. And I'm using a sweet red. You could use any kind of wine you like, but I'm using a sweet red. It's going to complement the crunchy cornbread streusel at the end, and it's giving us some sweet notes because that was raspberry and I believe strawberries. So it's kind of giving us a bunch of fruity notes that's going to complement the roast well. So once you get that red wine in there, go ahead and get the fund off the bottom of the pan. And this is just the deglazing step. You're getting all those great flavors that accumulated at the bottom of the pan up and accumulated into the sauce. But once you get that scraped very well, we're going to go ahead and add our roast back in there. And look at that, that's a beauty. And since we're braising this in the oven, you want to make sure that liquid comes up at least halfway, because the roast is going to give off some fat as well, but you don't want to burn it. And then we're going to go in with some good quality beef stock. You can make your own beef stock, or you could buy some beef stock. But if you buy beef stock, just make sure it's unsalted, because you want to be able to control your own salt levels. I think I said it in every video. But yeah, make sure you control your salt levels. Once we get that beef broth brought up to a boil, we're gonna go ahead with some rosemary, and then we're gonna add in some thyme. And this is plain English thyme, but you can use regular thyme. You can use lemon thyme actually. But once you get that rosemary and thyme in there, we're gonna go ahead and cover this Dutch oven, and we're going into a 350-degree oven. And my oven is convection, so I cooked on convection. And this thing is gonna get put away for at least 4 hours. So about halfway in, you're gonna check it, bring it out, and I'll show you that in a second. But we're gonna go ahead and get that in the oven. And this is 2 hours into the process. I'm gonna pull it out and just check your liquid levels. Make sure you don't need to add any liquid. But once you get to this point, you can go ahead and check the tenderness. And like I said, this is only 2 hours in, so we need about 2 more hours because it's very tough right now. But at this step, I want to add in my carrots. And we're going to kind of steam these things on top of the braised. You don't want these things completely submerged because you don't want them to break down. You want them to still hold up their integrity as a carrot, because you want to be able to see that carrot in your finished product. But once we get the carrots in there, I'm going to go ahead and cover it, and we're going back into the oven for an additional 2 hours. And after those 2 hours, this thing should be like fall apart, but you don't want it to be shredded. You just want it to be like pull apart, and that's what's going to equal the best roast, I think, because you still got some integrity to the roast, and it's not going to completely disintegrate, but it's going to be really tender. So you see, we at this point here, everything looks beautiful. We got some good color on the carrots, and then I soaked up some of that braised liquid, so they're fantastic. I mean, like, honestly, they're fantastic. And you guys don't need to have smell-o-vision because you're at the event right now. You just ate this dish, and you know how incredible it was. So, you know, comment down below if you liked it, and explain what you liked about the dish. But you see, it is very tender. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain the braised liquid from the carrots. We're gonna pull the roast out and have that sit inside. I'm not gonna show you how to make the buttermilk mashed potatoes because I'm gonna link a video down below, because I make those same mashed potatoes in like every video, and you probably seen that before. And I didn't want this video to be too long. It's already 12 minutes, but so we're going in with our butter, and that's unsalted sweet cream butter, and that's a half a stick, and we're going to pop that in the oven. Now we're making our crunchy cornbread streusel, and we're going in with a half a cup of cornmeal, followed by a half a cup of flour, and then we're going to finish it off with a half a cup of sugar, and that's equal parts all the way through. And then to make it more well-rounded, we're going to give a good pinch of salt, just to balance out the sugar. The salt is going to make this thing, give it some savory notes, but it's also going to bring out the sweetness of the sugar. And then we're going in with 1 large egg, and then we're going to finish with some good quality buttermilk. And it's going to be a little bit thinner than a pancake batter, but you want this thing smooth. So we're going to go ahead and mix it up until it's completely smooth. And once it's smooth, we're going to pull out cast iron out of the oven, and then go ahead and add that half a stick of melted butter to this cornbread mix, and then we're going to stir it up. And so for the cornbread streusel, I didn't get a chance to record that. Like I said, I didn't want the video to be too long, but what I did was let it cool, then I crumbled it, and I added a little sugar, a little butter, and some fresh herbs to the pan, and then I just sauteed it until it was crunchy and delicious, and that was what our cornbread streusel was. So we're gonna get our cornbread into the oven, and this thing cooked at 350 for about 12 to 15 minutes until it was golden brown. But every oven gonna vary. Just make sure it's golden brown. The texture should be like sun. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get our tart pans ready. And we're just going in with our buttermilk mashed potatoes at the bottom, and those things should be very smooth and silky and delicious and salty. Oh my goodness. And after that, we're gonna go ahead and pop our roast on top of it, our braised beef. Oh, look at that. Like I said, it shouldn't be shredded, but you should still see the integrity of the beef, but it should be super tender. Like, this thing should be like falling apart when you take a bite of it. Then we're gonna go in with some buttermilk mashed potatoes on the top, just to make us give us like that tart well-roundedness. And then we're gonna go on with our good pot liquor, and I will link a video down below to show you how to take that liquid and then reduce it to something amazing that you could top your beef with. And I will link that video down below. So you're gonna have a couple videos linked down below to show you every step of the way, and I did that so this video wouldn't be too long. Also, I did that to get you to come on and check out the channel because you'll really like what we got going on here. And so then we're topping the rest of it off with our crunchy cornbread streusel, which is absolutely amazing. And it's not your ordinary streusel, but it's what we created, and it's delicious. And then we're topping it off with some parsley. We're gonna just finish with some parsley, and there you have it, man. The most amazing braised beef tarts on top of buttermilk mashed potatoes, topped with our crunchy cornbread streusel. And I'm just giving you all kind of little looks of this. And also, don't forget about the carrots. We're gonna pop our carrots on there. So yeah, there you have it, man. You guys just had this dish at Nibble in the Night. Tell me how you liked it. Tell me how you enjoyed Nibble in the Night. This was my first time being featured at Nibble in the Night. This is like the 3rd or the 4th edition of Nibble in the Night, and we had some really amazing chefs. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Lee at Soul Q. Shout out to D and Landis. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Keena. Shout out to Teasy. And shout out to me, the Bistro, Cornelius Lathan. But thank you guys for checking this video out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And also subscribe to this channel. Like I said, it's a really amazing channel. We got a lot of videos, some great videos. And yeah. And this is October. And shout out to Cityscope Magazine. We've been featured in Cityscope Magazine this month. Cornelius Lathan, we made the most amazing spaghetti aglio e olio. I'll link that video down below for you as well. But thank you guys for checking this video out. Like, comment, share, subscribe, man. Nibble in the Night. Thank you guys. I'm out.